Hello and welcome. So I am going to take a look at the Times Cryptic Quintagram, and this is being published on Friday the 17th of October 2025. As ever, we have 5 cryptic clues. We have the letters down here which go in there. You can pause the video, have a look at those clues, see if you can solve them, see if you can figure them out. I think this might be difficult being a Friday. I'm going to reset the timer and crack on. Zip caught in pullover. Zip is love, I suppose, isn't it? Nothing scored. Cook's rhubarb with fish rejected. Cook's rhubarb. Is that an anagram with fish rejected? Erudite poet Edward. Erudite is learned. Ed, learn, poet, learn? Lear Ned, okay. Originally safe, disturbed ET rang alien. Looks like there should be an anagram there. Disturbed ET, so S. Strange, okay, that's not too bad. Stewing bit of chicken, what's that tipped in therein? Stewing bit of chicken, is that bit of chicken is a C? Ugh. This one got 2 cooking clues. Food and drink, my nemesis. Cook's rhubarb with fish rejected. I mean, that should be fish would be a cod, could be a dock, could be a dock. Rhubarb. Can't be that well. Too many letters for the anagram of rhubarb. Cook's a chef. Stewing, there's an ing there, isn't there? Let's try that. Put the ing there for now. Stewing, bit of chicken would be a C. What's that tipped in there? Doorway. Doorway looks like it should be there, but it isn't quite. Stewing, bit of chicken. What's that tipped therein? What's that? Is WT maybe? Maybe it's a wing. Wing. Bit of chicken's a wing, is a leg. Breast. CWT. I wonder if tipped is saying WT, because we've got a WT down here. Cooks, I mean, we're looking at a way of cooking. Cooks. Cook is. Rhubarb. Yes, there's an apostrophe there, that's kind of important actually. Cook is or cooks, so it belongs to the cook. As opposed to a type of cooking. I don't know what to do with rhubarb really, unless it's a... Can't be a hidden word because there's no B's left. Fish reject. I can't think. My fish is a rod of fish. Door. I thought it has to be a fish. The actual name of a fish going backwards. Fish rejected, unless we're trying to get to rejected, but we can't get an ed ending. I mean, these letters are just a bit crazy. It's not cock a van. Cog. I don't. Yeah, I can't even. I mean, the question mark on the end suggests it's a cryptic hint towards stewing, which makes me think it should be an ing. Stewing might be like sitting in your own, kind of being a bit grumpy, kind of stewing that something over, which would be, from the letters I've got, not very obvious. I've just got C-O, lots of O's and R's taking up the letters there. Word. But what kind of letters that look like they go together very well? TR, true. Trock, torch. With the ing, maybe help that out, I don't know. Bit of chicken is a wing, as I said. Maybe it is a wing then. Maybe there's a wing in there. Stewing. I think there's a W there. And then we're going to put, what's that tipped within? what that would be, I don't know. And if it is, what I've got, W, can only have an R or an O there, can't I really? Unlikely to be the C, it's not going to be the C or D. Unlikely to be the Y or the T, so it's kind of like thinking like brooding, but WR rot. I'll look at this one. Cook's rhubarb with fish rejected. My list of fish is a bit lacking. Other than we've got dory in there, which would be IROD. And there's so many fish in the world, but I can't see many types of fish, so that's a big area that I can get to maybe. But rhubarb, I've got no idea what rhubarb is trying to get me to do. It feels like it ought to be a rhubarb. I think is an expression to I always think of it as an expression, kind of covering up a swearing thing. But I think that might be. It's obviously a plant, vegetable thing, very tasty and crumble. Cook is rhubarb with fish rejected. But we haven't got any B's, so it's or H's, so it can't be an anagram or a hidden word involving rhubarb. Bit of stewing, bit of chicken is either the wing or it's a C for. What's that tipped in there? I don't know. I'm going nowhere on this somewhere. So let's have a check, see what I've got. Oh, okay. So everything to that point is correct, at least, which makes it even more. Is it worrying? Stewing, worrying. Okay. I mean that'll fit, won't it? Let's have a O-R-R-Y. There's my cod. Fish rejected is doctor. Yeah, to cook is to doctor. Okay, why is that? I don't understand that. Okay, so I sort of had all the components there. I just don't really have the knowledge, I think it's fair to say. Rhubarb is rot. Okay. Yeah, didn't know that. Rhubarb is rot. Let's go through. So, okay, zip is when you score nothing, and love is nothing scored in tennis. Caught in is your hidden word indicator that in and pull over there's love. That's a quite tough definition. But hidden words I'm always a little bit more happy about, shall we say. So if you cook something, you doctor it. Fair enough. Rhubarb in this case is rot, and fish is cod. Put it backwards gives you doctor. I did say the fish backwards could be a cod, but I would have been putting it down this end, so that's fair enough. Erudite is learned. That's worth remembering because anytime you see erudite in a crossword, it's almost always something to do with learned. Poet is Lear. Edward Lear, I think, actually. So, and then Edward is Ned, shortened to Ned. Originally safe is saying take the S of safe. Disturbed is an anagram indicator that we need an anagram of E.T. rang, and alien, strange is alien. That's your definition. Stewing for worrying, again, I wouldn't necessarily go with that. Bit of chicken is the wing. What's that tipped in therein? Ori. What is going on there? What's that tipped? Is that saying take a word for what is that and then take off the first letter? I'm going to pause the video while I have a think to myself. Well, it's one of those rare occasions where I cannot decode the clue. Stewing is worrying, that's the definition. I would have thought of stewing as being a bit angry and grumpy and rather than worrying, but fair enough. I mean, none of these definitions has felt that obvious. I think the bit of chicken is the wing, and then what's that tip therein is saying put O-R-R-Y in there, but I tipped in there, but what's that tipped? I think that's probably a word for what's that without either the first and maybe the last letters on it. I don't know, put them in there. But I cannot see what that is. And Ori itself is not a word really. So if you know, let me know. If you know, let me know down in the comments. Let us all know. Anyway, there we go. Tough puzzle that, as I kind of half expected. Thank you for watching.